well.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order, the Sacramento City Council on Tuesday, September 10th at 2:03 PM. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Ashby. Here. Councilmember Warren. Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Carr. Vice Mayor Guerra.
Here.
And for the record, Councilmember Hanson, Jennings, and Chenier and Mayor Steinberg will be absent this afternoon.
Great, thank you. If everyone could please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Madam Clerk, Madam City Attorney, do we have anything to report on in closed session?
No, we didn't have a closed session.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Vice Mayor Guerra. We move on to the consent calendar, and I have 4 speakers.
Okay, let's go ahead and take the speakers first.
Thank you. I have Barbara Ram on item 4, Michael Harris on 14, Richard Dana, and Katie Robb on 28. Barbara Ram.
Expecting so soon. Good afternoon, council members. Yeah, I need the overhead. Okay, so I just wanted to comment on Pathways to Health and Home. They were awarded $64 million to be used between July 2017 and December 31st of 2020. The number of enrollees as of July 31st, 2019 is 769. So to get to the cost of those enrollees, divide the time into months, 42 months for the life of Pathways. We've used 25 months. 64 million divided by 42 months is almost 1.5 million. For 25 months, it's 38 million. 38 million divided by 769 is $49,538 per individual. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Per individual that we have helped with Pathways to Health and Home is $49,538 per person. So I have a little bit of time. I'm going to go over some conclusions. Pathways is extremely expensive at $49,538 per enrolled individual. If Pathway costs should be included in the railroad report, or the outcomes from Pathways should be removed. Pathways appears to be another level of triage and coordination only without concrete, tangible benefits. And also notice the dashboards have not been updated since June 15th of 2019, but should be continued. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Michael Harris on item 14.
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor, City Councilman, City Manager. The Sacramento Valley Railroad is it's an exciting opportunity. I'm certainly all in favor of it. I think there's some omissions that we need to really drive down, focus on them. Right behind you there, it says we were founded in 1849, and we don't celebrate that much. But back when I was going to school here in Sacramento, we would celebrate that, as well as the California Admissions Day. That was yesterday. It's not in the schools system, to my knowledge, these days. But the Sacramento Valley Railroad, the other end of the line was Negro Bar, a gold mining town in Negro Bar. And about 2 blocks from here was a very vibrant, thriving community of Negroes. That's what we called them, but we were Pan-Africans because we were here in the gold rush, and we came from wherever we were on planet Earth. And it was quite a robust community here in the first church west of Mississippi, about 2 blocks away from here. And there was enough people here to form a church. The AME church is here. So the idea at this beautiful, and I was at the meeting over at Stanford Gallery, which ironically, Mr. Stanford learned how to be a Republican in a town called Negro Hill, just 3 miles on the other side of Negro Bar, when his family had a grocery store there. So, I mean, upstairs in the Railroad Museum and Library, because that's where I spend a lot of time, spare time they call it, but it's really serious work. The business records of the Sacramento Valley Railroad are there, and it documents and talks about why the first railroad west of the Mississippi was put where it is. And it just so happens to be today one of the most best kept secrets. It's the hub of a transportation hub for the West Coast, the 5th largest economy on the planet.
Thank you
I
for your
see
comments.
red Things flashing.
Thank you
Talk
for
to
your
you soon.
comments.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Richard Dana, and then Katie Robb.
Hey, good afternoon. Richard Dana with the Sierra Health Foundation, speaking in favor of item number 28, Del Paso Sports Complex. So, having worked in Del Paso Heights for 22 years, this is a really important item and means a lot to the neighborhood. It will bring forth not just recreation, but business, social, and become an important igniter for future economy in the neighborhood. It didn't happen on its own, so I want to thank a few folks, and I know I'm going to miss a few of them, but I want to say from Economic Development Department, Michael Jasso, I see Denise back here, Melissa was huge. From Parks and Recs, I saw Shannon sitting back there. She was amazing in this process. But Raymond and Dana, Cheryl were all spectacular. Mayor's not here today. I would thank him. I thank the entire council. But obviously, Alan, I'd take a step back and thank you. I know, what? Right? You're in the council, right? I think you're on in the district or something. It's been a labor of love to get to this point. It's been extremely methodical because it has to be done right. And a major thanks to Councilmember Warren for standing beside us the entire way, pushing this forward, and really championing his district, and in this case, Del Paso Heights and all the residents that come with it. I'm going to hand it over to Katie Robb, who I've had the pleasure of working with for over 10 years with Mutual Assistance Network.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I'm Katie Robb with Mutual Assistance Network. On behalf of the organization and for the residents of Del Paso Heights, we want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I know it's been a long time in the making, and so we look forward to the day when the Del Paso Heights Sports Complex is open and ready for play.
And finally, when that day comes, we'll all be wearing baseball caps so we can tip our caps to each other and say thank you properly. Again, and by the way, Councilmember Ashby, you've been really supportive as well. The few times that we have passed this through various measures, Alan, you haven't been here for those. So Councilmember Ashby stepped up to say thank you on behalf of Alan. Teamwork. So thank you all very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. That's the folks listed for comment here. I know Councilmember Warren wanted to speak on this, but Member Ashby, you are first on the speakers list. Did you want to speak on this item? Yeah, we'll go with Councilmember Warren first, and then I'll come back to Member Ashby.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I want to just say that this project has come about as a result of a lot of hard work, community support. The staff of the City of Sacramento has been instrumental. The mayor was very supportive when I had talked to him early on about the prospect of bringing really a regional sports complex to the North Sacramento area and really serving as a catalyst for bringing people together from outside of the region into our community as well, but also a facilitator for young people in our community to give them a safe place to come and work on their craft and learn how to be good teammates and be a focal point. And but I have to say that Richard Dana was really a champion of this early. And when he brought it to me and we started talking about it and having community meetings, and Richard has, I'm going to hit him back right now, even though he's not with Mutual Assistance anymore right now, we still want to acknowledge those that played significant role. And Mutual Assistance, their entire team, they have a new executive director now, but also somebody committed to our community. I think this kind of thing would not be happening without the leadership of the MAN team. And I have to say thank you also to my colleague Ashby, who oftentimes, if I'm, for whatever reason, not here, she will step in and champion the things that are important to us in District 2. And I also have to thank my colleagues on the council, including the city manager, who also has a heavy hand in all of these kinds of things that happen in the city. So I think we all, I think, should have some sense of pride for doing something very special in the Del Paso Heights community. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Warren. Councilmember Ashby.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And thank you, Councilmember Warren. Great work and congratulations to you. You've worked hard on that for a long time, and I think it's going to be a game changer for the community there. I am going to vote no on item 2. It is the staff report lacks critical information, and I believe it needs to be revised. Also have some issues with the fundamentals of that project. I understand it's on pass for publication. I'm going to vote no on the pass for publication, but happy to support the balance of the consent.
Good. And so this is what I'm going to do, because we're missing a lot of the council today. I'm going to actually ask for a motion to what do you call it? Continue. Continue. There we go. That's the word. Yeah. Motion to continue item 2. And then we can work on the balance of the consent calendar. So I'll ask for a motion to continue item 2. Been moved? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? 1 no. Okay, so that measure will fail then?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, well then we're gonna go let's ask for a motion on the consent calendar.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? And that's, so item 2 fails, and we will have the clerk manage that item when it comes back to council. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor, we are on to council
Oh, yeah.
comments.
Well, before we go to
ideas.
council comments, let's give a big round of applause to all of the folks at Mutual Assistance Network and the City of Sacramento for their good work in District 2. And Sierra Health Foundation. Very good.
So Councilmember Guerra, we're on to council comments, ideas, questions, AB 123 reports.
Councilmember Harris.
This is council comments, right?
Yes.
Okay, a couple of brief announcements. Gardenlands Northgate Neighborhood Association has a meeting this Thursday, 9/12, 6:30 p.m. at Stanford Settlement. River Park Neighborhood Association meeting is Thursday, 9/12, 7:30 p.m. at Fremont Presbyterian Church, room E210. And finally, the last food truck mania of the event of the year held at Glen Hall Park is this Friday, Friday the 13th, from 5 to 8 p.m. at Glen Hall Park. That's it.
Great. Thank you very much, Councilmember Harris. Since there are no other council members signed up to speak, City Manager, do you have anything to report?
I do not.
Madam Clerk?
I have 3 speakers for public comment matters not on the agenda. The first is Kevin Fiera. Kevin Fiera. Ferrera, pardon me. Kevin Ferrera, Barbara Ram, and then Aaron Luna. I apologize for
Good afternoon,
butchering
Mr.
your name.
Ferreira.
Good afternoon. It's okay. Kevin Ferreira, Executive Director of the Sacramento Sierra Building and Construction Trades Council. Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and council members. Just want to say that the Building Trades wants to thank the City Council for its passage of the citywide CWTA a year ago. So this is what's happened in a year. Our apprenticeships have added over 500 new apprentices. Over 100 of them have been formerly incarcerated. The diversity of the building trades has increased as well. It went from 46% last year to over 50% this year. So in partnership with the city, we're benefiting the community and creating careers in construction as well. Also to note, the accusation that the citywide CWTA is stagnating bidding is false. Recently, there was a project that went out to bid at $900,000, according to the engineer's estimate, which would have exempted it from the CWTA. There were 2 bids that were turned in, one union contractor, and the union contractor ended up being the low bidder. So for a $900,000 project, the non-union contractors aren't showing up for those bids either. So just want to make note of that and say thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, and we appreciate all the hard work.
Barbara Ram?
Just wanted to talk about the railroad report regarding pathways. There you go. So railroad pathways enrollees, there's 395 of them. If you multiply 395 by 49,000, you get 19,567,000. Pathways is mentioned 14 times. Pathways does not offer open referrals. You have to be referred through a partner program. A program partner, Pathways is mentioned as a program partner on page 8. Page 17, 395 dually enrolled in Pathways, 188 exited to housing or longer-term programs, whatever that is. 25% of the 188 or 47 are in permanent housing. On page 18, table 9, the shelter costs, no mention of Pathways as a railroad cost. So just to remind everybody what that looks like, although there's a little bit of my notes on there, nowhere on this is Pathways mentioned. Pathways progress report, 1,000 people are enrolled in Pathways, but according to the request for funding for the $3 million, as of July 31st, 2019, 769 were enrolled. So where are those additional 231 individuals? Where did they come from and where are they now? So in conclusion, for the Pathways to Health and Home, there's no dashboard after June 15th. How many of the 736 enrolled are still homeless or not homeless? Why are 23 uninsured when they should be enrolled in Pathways? Why are so many still on straight Medi-Cal when there's a 90-day moratorium on straight Medi-Cal? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
And our final speaker is Aaron Luna.
Thank you for your time. I just want to address a situation that I am personally experiencing. I am homeless, but, I've made, $100,000 in 1 year sometimes. Right now, I was trying to get back into the VOA, and the police, that's the only way you can get into the VOA is with a police escort. And they say they don't do it anymore. And then there's also the, there's the sheriff. He called, I talked to him today. I talked to 311. I talked to 211. And they all just kind of referred me to another, different person. And I read the paper every single day. And there was, a big article about the homeless situation that, Daryl supposedly is taken care of, and it was supposed to be like $10 million to get people back into homeless shelters. And not one single person will get that. They're saying, no, we don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. So I'm trying to figure out how to, in the meantime, right now, I've been staying at the Gospel Mission, but they are about to do a big renovation, and they are going to move all of their people into the room that they usually give out for homeless people. So there's only going to be like 9 or 10 beds available. There's only going to be like 9 or 10 beds available. And so, your chances of getting a bed are going to be very, very, very slim. And especially when we're coming up in the winter months.
Thank you for your comments. One moment. Yes, I was going to refer Mr. City Manager, if you could, with our city staff, in the background over there is Emily Halkin, who is our homeless coordinator for the city of Sacramento. I'm going to ask her to work with you to address this issue. I do appreciate all the work that the Gospel Mission has done out there, but we're going to try to help you today. And I'm going to ask Emily, once we adjourn here, if she could sit down with you to find some time.
Okay, that would be great.
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Mr. Luna, for your time here. Councilmember Ashby.
I'd like to ask him a question.
Oh, yes, Councilmember Carr.
Are you from Sacramento?
Yep, born and raised, Jesuit,
Jesuit High
you know,
School?
and then I lived in San Francisco for 20 years, but I came back here about 8 or 9 years ago. I had an apartment for several years, and then I got priced out of it. You know, I mean, literally, the lady that owned it, she raised it. I was paying only $480, and then she raised it to almost $1,000. You know, and so I mean, I couldn't even afford it anymore.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment, sir. Thank you, Mr. Carr. If that concludes our items on the agenda, Mr. Luna, I'm going to ask Ms. Halkin to help you out in the back.
Okay.
And with that, we are adjourned at 2:24 p.m.
I thank you for your comments.